How's it going, everyone? Mike the Mechanic, and I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. Um, it's been rough on my side here. I've been having to move, and I went to court, and I did a bunch of other stuff, and I had to get rid of shit, and then people in the house started dumping stuff, and then I finally said, okay, I'm going. Shut the electricity off at the garage, and um, I didn't feel like I had a chance to stay, and they said they were going to flip the house. They wanted everybody out, so it wasn't worth going through more aggravation. And I really liked my physical garage, but I really had a problem as time went on. And this October would have been 9 years that I was there. And I found a new place. I like it. It's smaller. Unfortunately, I have less ability to do some stuff on the outside of the garage. It's in a nicer neighborhood, but I'm very lucky to have it. In the end, hopefully, as time goes on, because I did a lot of work to this woman's house in the garage, and I upgraded it a lot. Um, Basically, ran electricity, made tons of shelving, and put a second level onto the garage. So this took months, and as of today, Sunday, um, September 1st, I physically got the two cars from the other garage in that garage. And she wasn't happy that I had them outside of the garage. I'm not supposed to have cars outside of the garage. So these are cars that were kind of dead. I had one inside, one outside. And but I just had to prep the garage. It needed so much work, and the garage flooded. And I had to do everything on my own dime. It cost me thousands of dollars. Um, but I'm going to take you through it. I hope this video doesn't end up being too long, but it's going to probably be a couple of hours. If you wanted to watch a movie and then decided not to, maybe you'd watch this YouTube video. I'm really not ready to start filming car stuff because I'm kind of busy in the movies as well, and I have a lot of people like bugging me to fix their car, and I don't really have the time to record everything. I'm going to be on the road doing it. Something I don't like doing, but in the end, I'm in a decent place right now, and things can only go up right now. And I still have to organize the garage. Like, it took me the end of May to now to actually get two physical cars in there and set everything all up as far as electric and, like I said, the shelving and whatnot, which you're going to see. But I still have to organize certain areas. So I'm hoping I'll clear out some work, and I got to fix my own cars for the movies as well. So maybe I'll film some of that. But I just wanted to let you know I'm still alive, and I'm gonna uh, show you this video of what I had to go through the last few months. So hopefully, things look up from now on. Thanks for watching, and I don't know if I'll add anything else to this video, but we'll see. But thank you for paying attention, and I appreciate your support. So this motherfucker let people dump shit here. It's like all insulation, so I don't know if they're renovating the house or fucking whatever, but I can't even walk back here. I had to go the other way. They even threw shit on the other side of my car, through a fucking door. I mean, I'm not the neatest guy, but I don't dump shit. It's pretty fucked up. And they blocked the whole driveway too. I had to move it myself, so I gotta get rid of the cars soon. Hey there, buddy. You guys got in still, huh? It's all good. I remember when you guys were mean to me, but he's awfully cute. I guess you got babies up here. What a mess. That's the problem of the new owners. I gotta get shit out of here. He ran to the other side here. Kind of climbed out, and I'm calling him, and he actually climbed back in a little bit. What's your matter? Huh? What's up, buddy? I know, somebody's invading your property. Look at all the junk I have. You know, this is just the top floor, which I don't have room for in the other place. This is going to be very fun because the garage that I have now, this garage is way bigger, not way bigger, but bigger than the garage I'm getting, unfortunately. But it's a good time to downsize, and we'll see. Man, I ran electric. I ran a lot of stuff up here in this garage. Like I said, no electricity. I put this fan in. See what happens. Lots of stuff everywhere. All right, this is the first garage door, and as you can see, it's loaded to the gills to the other garage door. I'm going to make a top floor on this, and I got a lot of shelving to build. I got a lot of, you can see light through there, and there's a couple other spots I got to seal all that up, and obviously everything needs to be organized, but I have to build all the shelving. It's a lot taller. It's at least a foot taller than the other garage, but it's 18 inches less wide. So it's a little bit of a conundrum. You know, I put this, I started putting this stuff. I was trying to set it up like the old garage over here with toolboxes and one of the things here, and then there's more storage over here, which in the other garage I had this shelving over here that's very flimsy, but it was serving a purpose. But all this is going to move. I figure small car is here. That Opal I have, not sure if I'm going to clog up the center here or not. I was thinking about just not having this and putting one in the center because it's exactly 18 inches shorter than the other one. So technically I should have the same amount of room if I just put one in the middle. You know, I'd love to, take away these two garage doors and put one garage door and up higher because I have the room. There's a little bit of plywood here, but it looks awfully thin. These are old school beams too. They look like it's like a 3x5. I'm sorry, 3x6, or it's the old school 2x6, I should say. So it's like 1 3/4 by actual, or not 6, but 5 3/4. And it's why it's going to be a little bit difficult with what I'm doing with the standard 2x6s by 20. I got a whole bunch of those, and I got 16 sheets of the 2332 OSB board, the interlocking tongue and groove style. A lot of work to do. Anybody that can offer help, I'll take it. Wish me luck. Oh, I got to do a lot of lighting. All I got is these two bulbs here, and that's going to change. I got a lot to do. A lot. Would have been ultimate if I could just do this all before I moved. And there could have been a chance for that, but I didn't want to be rushed to move at a later date. I didn't want the weather to get any hotter. It's hot the last 2 days, but I pretty much moved on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with a bunch of friends. And hopefully this works out. It's a gable roof, so there's less room up top, but it may be more useful spots in the corners, and the smallest parts are actually a little bit bigger as far as when it comes down to where the two roofs meet, So it has its pros and its cons. Like I said, this looks like a 2x8. It'd be nice if I just bought a tape measure. Of course, now I buy one, and I was trying to measure blindly by trying to put up another piece of wood, but I really didn't have anything to climb on, and truthfully, getting 2x8s would have been a lot harder task and a lot more money. But yeah, that looks like 5.5. Maybe it's. Hang on a second.
Can this stay there by itself? Absolutely not. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in first. Yeah. I have a feeling it's 5 3/4. Yeah, it's under 6. It's hard to do. I'm trying to look at the ruler and look at the phone at the same time. That's as far as I can zoom. That might be 5.5 as opposed to 5 3/4, but it does look like an old school one. This might be, maybe it's 3x6. I don't know. It looks fatter to me, but I thought it was an old school board, and somebody did put 2x8s here for some kind of support here on this main thing here, I guess, to hold the garage, this guy right here. You can see it sticks out. That's another reason why I'm like, that's got to be 6, because that's definitely like 8. So lots to do, a lot. So once I get the bare bones of it up, it's basically throwing these boards up there, which is very difficult to do, and without help it's very, very hard. And then initially getting the like, this is the old shelving. I actually saved it, but I got more wood right there, 2x4s, and I got a bunch of boards right here, and it's going to make more shelving. I'm trying to go all the way around because I don't have what's going on the outside, and I'm sure I can make it work somehow. So if I do leave this on one end, I'll leave the middle open. Maybe that's where I'll put like an attic stair so it can drop down at any time, because before in the other garage was to the back of the garage, which made it harder to, I had to leave it down all the time, and it would be a pain sometimes because I had equipment there and everything, and the times that I did have to bring it up, that was the day I had to go up in the top floor. But I also want to utilize the top floor more than I did in the other place. I kind of just threw a bunch of shit there and it never fucking left. I still have shit at the other garage, which I still have time, but probably stuff that may not get here, and if it does, it'll come at a later date. And it's like I said, it's in a better neighborhood, and it's all good, God does good things at the last second. I really thought I was losing everything, and then boom, I got this ad that popped up, so wish me luck. Just showing you what I did in the garage. All those shelves going all the way around. There's an open spot here where this door is. And then another shelf. I'm going to add some more on either side. But I did the whole top floor. You can see the brown beams are the old beams, the only beams that were there, and I had to add all these others. And I put plywood on everything. There's actually not a lot of screws holding this plywood, so that's what I'm going to do now, and it's like 110 degrees up there. But ultimately, this is my new garage. Like I said, it's smaller, but it's still, sizable. I'm going to make a shelving unit there, and I'm using these beams to hold up the weight, so I can put a lot of weight on these shelves if I have to. And I got a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment, a lot of toolboxes, and a lot of storage, a lot of things to put away. Big job. So that's the far corner going towards the front. Mail. And you can see I did the whole top thing, the double one like in the other shop. Went over the door and across to here. Got these weird lights just to throw them in for now, but the whole top floor is in. I actually threw a few things up there, so I can kind of walk in here a little. Of course, still got all this mess. I haven't run one drop of electric, so I got a whole lot to go. It looks like it's bright in here, but it's all dark down there. So pretty crazy. He's not happy. He keeps running in. They keep chasing him out. Pretty hilarious. Yeah? Hmm? I know, it's interesting, huh? He literally runs away. Come on. Come on. Can you go the other way, please? Boop, boop, boop. Come on. You gotta go. You gotta go. Come on. This is hilarious. I put him back by the coop. Hey, he finally ran that way. He was following me back. Hey, you coming back? Everybody's sneaking up on me today. Far right corner. Far left corner. I made a cul-de-sac. And then it continues from that corner all the way around. I'm sitting on top of here. And then goes that. And I built this whole top floor here. There were some beams, but I had to put the majority in. A lot of work. So this is my new garage. I'm running a bunch of new lines, but I got to put all new lighting. But I built all these shelvings all the way across. A big square with a hole in the middle there, making that like a workstation. And I had to reconfigure it because this garage is 2 feet smaller width-wise. But I built the whole second floor to put stuff up there as well. Only these old beams were here. I added all the new ones. What's up, Mr. Chicken? What do you want? I keep following you, and then you go right back around. I can't get rid of him. No barking, or whatever you call that. No clucking. Come on, time to go. Oh, come on, this way. This way. Come here. Go home. Come on. There you go. I know everybody wants me to work on their car, but I'm doing a tremendous amount of work here at the garage. But you see above the garage door here, I got basically this W-shaped set of shelving, and I put all the these boxes and everything. I had a ton of them over here on these shelvings. And as you can see, this is leaves me with a lot that I can access. That leaves me with access. When I actually am working on something, so I don't always have to go up so high. So kind of like the dead weight is up here, but now you can see I'm running it for the most part, and all the lighting, it's like daylight in here between all these lights that I got. I got one more light that goes on over there, and looking pretty good. And I got light up there. So, yeah, up here I got plenty of storage and lighting, for that matter. I got outlets. I even have a fan back there that was at my old garage, and I just mounted it to the beams. And that little white box right there, that's a thermostatic control, so it goes on at like 98 degrees, and I have it shut off at 95 degrees, and it's not so bad up here then. Otherwise, it was 110 degrees. But this is not nowhere near organized. I got a lot of shit still to put up here. And plenty of room, I mean, the other one had plenty of room too, but it was just, I kind of just kept throwing everything up there, and that mess would disappear. I still got stuff at the old garage. I got till July 31st to get it out, or leave it there. But I got to run new electric as well. So I got to run electric, because you see that gray wire there, that's a 20 amp wire. It's just a 20 amp breaker, which I didn't know, because I looked at it, I'm like, oh, look at all those breakers. And somebody just repurposed this breaker box and ran just only a few lines, and that was it. But I ran extra switches and extra, all the Romex there, and I ran wiring everywhere for these lights, and I put this extra light switch here for this. I'm going to remove that. Came with the garage. I'm going to remove that. And I'm still figuring out what to do with a lot of this stuff. I need more storage solutions, you know, like crates and what do you call it? You know, totes and stuff like that. But I'll have better access to a lot of this stuff. This is like going to be the work area here between the lathe, the metal making area. So this one I'm going to try to get this guy working again. That's the brake lathe for these old cars to cut the drums and rotors. And I got to get this lathe going. This is like a metal working station. Got my drill press. I got another vise over there. This is a tire machine. And I know like I'm trying to put a lot of stuff in a small area, but I really don't have a choice. Lots of storage. I'm going to make it work so that like everything for the metal working, if I got to go up for something, it's just like right there. It's not terrible. This is like going to be a lot of AC stuff for making lines and whatnot. I put the old garage. I had the sandblaster upstairs because I was actually able to walk up the other one. This is smaller, so I can't, but I'm utilizing it for this. That shelving system might just end up in a direct center because it's not as wide. And, you know, it kind of, I'm going to have to cheat the car over, so I may put that in the center. But still lots to do. Still working on things. Of course, I was mentioning the electric. So I was telling you I got to run a new line all the way to the house. And this is going to be the wire. And it's like over 125, 130 feet. And that's going to be fun. Got to dig a trench all the way to the house and get through the chicken coops and try to make it work. And I might put an additional shelf up there. I might put additional shelf over the toolbox. You know, a much lighter, dutier shelf just so I can access a few things. And what else? I didn't show it, but that's the fan switch. And then I got this light here. So that was the light switch I just turned on. Turns on all these lights all the way to here. So like every station is lit up, you know, for the most part. And then I got this switch here, which turns on these two lights here to light up an additional amount of lighting that I might need with outlets. And it's like daylight in here, so it's going to be pretty good as far as that's concerned. But it's just figuring out exactly where everything's going to go. You know, everything's going to go over 2 inches, this way 2 inches. It's going to make a difference when all is said and done. So, wish me luck. I got a chicken in the garage. How often does that happen? Here's another one. When does this happen? You got all three in here. So much for somebody telling me it was going to cut like butter. And I'm like, why is it all of a sudden easier? As it wore down. I bought 2 blades and I have one in here somewhere. But I think I have to buy a diamond blade. This is the hardest shit I ever did, cutting the asphalt out and digging all this dirt. They had smaller ones, I should have got them because this was overkill. I can't even flood this. I just stick the hose in there endlessly and it just keeps filling with water and never being an issue. So I could have got the smaller one, but I'm debating if I should just open these things up and just let it drain out the bottom. But then I did this today. I don't know if that's coming up on camera very well. I found the original wire kind of ends up going closer and closer to the house. But I just dug this trench all the way. And then I hit it with water so it levels out the dirt. But I still got to do all the way under the house. So I pulled through underneath here. I cleaned up a bag of garbage. There was a lot in the way. And you got more. Anyway, so that line there was the old line. Now I saw it about halfway out. In fact, you can probably see the wiring. It's a fatter line, but it's not an old line because it had this blue thing on it. And I thought that was the line the guy ran, but it wasn't. He ran it right here Hang on. Settings on this phone. All right, so you can see the line there, but then look. He ran it up here. All the way up here. Through the deck. And then to the same place that that blue one is at. So, it's like you got a long way before a screw hits it, but I don't even know if this is legal or not, but this is supposed to be buried, this type of Romex. So, as it is, I dug down deeper, and because he barely had it like 6 or 8 inches. Some place, like right here, it was deeper. It's like he started to dig here, and then he got tired. He got at the end, he barely went 6 inches. So I kept digging to make it go lower. Okay, I spent the morning digging that out, as you saw. And then now I just dug this hole right here. And I have a hole going through the other side to where the ditch is. I made it deeper so that I can put rocks at the, I'll put the wire at the bottom, but then I'll put the rocks there. And that way I'll have a pipe here. I'll get the pipe with the holes in it so it'll drain as it's draining. And then it'll drain into rocks over here for the most part, just as a runoff. And then I'll have holes all throughout the barrel I put in here. And I went through there. And right there, you can see the hole. So enter. And this is the barrel. It's a 30-gallon food grade barrel. And I just guessed. And
You got mail.
pretty much right there at the top. All right, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, and I think I made these holes right. That one there is for that one. I'll show you in a minute. And then this one is a little more offset. It's not 90 degrees away. I put 7 holes in this band here and 7 holes in this band here, 1/2-inch holes. And then here, you see these high spots here? I put 1 hole there, 1 hole there, because then there's rocks up against here. There's no chance of dirt, even though I got 3 bags of the rocks there, the river rocks. And I got these high spots here, like basically 1/4-inch holes here. So there's 4 1/4-inch holes to drain, apart from each other, and up a little bit higher in the barrel, because just a 1/2-inch or so, whatever that lip is, and at least the bottom will drain out, and there'll be a little bit something in there, but it's going to take a very long time, and I don't think they'll get clogged. Hopefully. The other thing is, I put a bunch of holes at the top here under this lip, so it acts like a vent, and I don't think anything's going to get in there. I can always epoxy the holes, but I just figured that these holes are good. Just like, God forbid, everything gets clogged and the soil will all be wet up top here. But I guess it would be anyway. But I just figure that as fast as the water's going in, some air has to come out. Although these act like vents too. So I don't know if that was stupid, but I just figured that. And then because I have this at this level here, I realized, and I put a screw-in connection, and I'm going to put this in, and I can technically bend, I can put a 90 degree up here so it doesn't fill up that other side until the goat gets up much higher. Okay, so it's just slipped in over there. Hopefully I can keep this, or I can find a marker to try to mark everything, but I have all it mocked up, and that guy is kind of dangling because, the angle. I have to put rocks into both of these. This thing needs to be rotated, but you see what I did here? I actually cut it at an angle, so it's actually wider, has more surface area. That'll be, equal and even, although it probably doesn't matter much because it'll be screwed into that thing. But, yeah, so that'll be that. And like I said, these are threaded ones. I'll put silicone on the connections on both of them. And this, I can actually get a street elbow to come out of this and come up as high as I want to, because that's how far up it's going to fill. If the holes can't do it, then it'll come out of here. So it's not just filling that up at halfway, because then what's the purpose of those other screws, other holes, I should say. Watched a couple of YouTube videos, and they had this landscaping paper, because what it does is it prevents the erosion from possibly happening or dirt folding into the rocks. So they have very tiny, fine holes. And I filled this up past those holes. Like it wasn't just draining out immediately. Like I said, I got the 4 little holes at the bottom, but those little holes are eventually draining. But it takes a lot longer with the black stuff here and the landscaping paper and or whatever this material is, and it definitely slows down the process. And now I kind of, in my mind's eye, realize what's going on here. If you do fill this up, it does eventually drain and drain all the way, but you don't want it to drain fast. So it takes on the water. Worst case scenario, it'll come out of there. I'm going to put an elbow coming up, and it'll shoot on that side. I'll do some more of the same on that side. I put what they call river rocks at the bottom. Those are those gold ones. I should have showed this, but I was just busy working, so I unraveled it. I threw it in, put 2 screws here. I'll show you what I did on the inside. It's perfectly perpendicular. I went 21 inches, and then the elbow was 12, so that's almost 3 feet under. Although it's really 2 feet because this is a few inches above the ground here, and which is just fine. And then I put 18 inches after the bend. So it pretty much covers all that. It's highly unlikely water's going to get there. It's still a little lower over there, so that could all fill up with water, not an issue. And I'm going to put, this is mostly sand. I'm going to put the sand and fold these, this over here so it kind of stays contained. I had filled that area up with rocks on the inside, and now the rocks are pushing on the outside. It's very solid. Very good. It took at least 2 minutes before I started seeing water. That's good. So now I just used the anti-seize on the connection there. I didn't put it on the inside pipe, so it was still tough going in, so it's going to stay like that. You can see now this is on top of right where these holes are. So right when these holes start draining, this will finally start draining in there and allow the bucket to be, utilized more. So, and then, you can even I could put a bigger one on there even. Put a T, put a drain in here, and have some of the water, like a TY, so some of it drains into the barrel, and the other half drains out there. So a few things you can do even, and then it's all removable, so you can access it. And then if you ever get grit in here, you can go in with a shop vac and suck it out. And if all else fails and it doesn't really work as well as it should, then you can put a pump, and pump it out somewhere else. So pretty good. All right, I tightened the lid and I put 4 more bags of rocks over everything. And this will be kind of a little bit of a high spot, but this one's going to be dug down a little bit because I just sprayed water and you see it's pooling a little bit, but it is traveling into the rocks. So it'll take a little while, but that's fine. And in general, this whole driveway was not right, so hopefully once this is leveled, it'll take into there more and then eventually get here. Okay, so this is the 2 circuits that are in the gray wire. I pulled it off from the house. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing under there because I'd like to run her some outlets. I hooked up the 100 amp breaker. I have an 80 amp breaker in here, so this is the moment of truth. I have lights and 80 amp service. I could put 100 amps because the breaker in there is 100 amps. I could change that breaker to 125 because that's how good this is, how much power this is good for. And not bad for a mechanic. I got my ground wire in. I put the, I don't know what the distance is for code, but I thought that was about right. But it's about 2 feet. And ta-da, I got power. High power, that is. Just figure I get a video in. As you can see, the dirt is all filled up. I got the outlet there. And I got the outlet on the porch over here. And everything else is filled in. It's just starting to rain. It's a little lower in some places. I got to still level this out. I threw out a lot of the stuff in the garbage. I got to either use some of this dirt over there or throw it in a bag. But Been pretty crazy, a lot of work. But my electric is working, and I repurposed the original wiring in there for those two outlets. So I'm powering two outlets with that. And here comes the rain. So more moving in to do, and then start arranging more in the garage, and then that's it. Ready to work then. What do you want from me? Why do you keep pecking me for? What? Alright, so I towed the other car to the new location. Pretty much got everything. Still got all this stuff here that I haven't had room for. I got the truck filled right now. And if we go up the ladder, unfortunately the lights don't work. I gotta take down my two totes I put up here. I had so much garbage up here, it was incredible. This came with the garage, so I'm just leaving it. I have no place to put it anyway. This thing and this ladder, some straight cardboard, but yeah, 9 years at this location. Well, in October it would have been 9 years. I'm unfortunately going to a smaller garage, as I already said, but I like the landlord. I like, I like the setup. I like the neighborhood. This was tough being here because it really wasn't the best. Didn't always see eye to eye with people in the house. There was always a lot of stress, and but the garage was pretty awesome, for what it was. It's well built. Like the other garage is not nearly as built as well as this one. It was on fire at one point and kind of fixed up. These are 2x8s. I had to put 2x6s because that was there. I wasn't going to go bigger, and just a lot of work for me. Still got to organize the other garage, but I'm going to miss this place, for sure. All good things must come to an end, And one day, if I own my own property, then I can deal with all this a lot easier. But it ain't looking like that anytime soon. So I got what I got. Thank you all for watching, because although I'm probably going to throw some more videos in there with all this that I've been doing, and I have till July 31st. It's now July 26th. So I have the weekend to get rid of the stuff that's in the truck and then refill it with this. I gotta get the ladder back, and I'm gonna take maybe one cabinet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just waiting for the tow truck for this baby, and hopefully it's a new beginning, But like I said, I'm going to a smaller garage. I hope I can cope, So we shall see. And thanks for sticking with me. And no, I know I didn't post any videos in months, but that's because of all the chaos that goes along with this. I forgot I got all these bumper shocks I wanted to bring, but I got the bumper of one of the cars. I'm like, fuck, I forgot all about this one. So I was hoping I was doing the math right, but I have 30 bags, so you said you would buy some off me if I don't need it. So this is supposedly a half a yard. And when I was doing the math here, this whole space here is about 2/3 of a yard minus almost a fifth of a yard with the sides of the things. Now, what I ended up doing is drilling holes through this, getting rebar, cutting it, and epoxying it to the thing so I can actually push it in. I cut that down a little more. I'm not sure if it's going to be good. There's so many different angles here, because in the end, before, when I just laid it out, I had the whole thing, and then the last one was tilted. And I realize now that, I was tilting it, and it was still way high over this side. So now I'm probably going to put it lower, because before I was trying to put it higher in the hole. but now I'm going to put it lower so the water definitely runs to it. The other thing I wanted to say, I bought 2 bags of the crushed stone that I used for this, the same stuff as that, and I used the tamper, and I tamped it down. Right in the middle here, there's concrete. I guess it's a footing meant for the middle of the garage. There's a concrete, extra support underneath there. So this line here, it really, like I said, there's so many different angles, and in order to make it even with this, it's got to be way lower there, and it definitely comes up here. But I'll see how it is. But I might have a hard time pushing through the rock that I pushed in there. But I could probably take a screwdriver and clear out rocks right where that is. Anyway, so by having it basically on these stilts, what ends up happening is that I can try to get the concrete underneath and do one pour then when everything is ready to go. So now I have it set. I got this black foam stuff. Put those little wood wedges to hold them in. There's a big slab of concrete here in the center, so I can only go so far on either end, but I have tape holding each joint together. They're very light. But this one here is pretty much close to the top, and I cut a 1/2 inch off, so it definitely is about level or under the brick. But it's like when they did the asphalt, and then I realized that because I cheated it over, I had it close here, but then I started cheating it over this way to give myself more room since I had it. And I go, oh, wait a minute, this thing doesn't move. So now I kind of have this gradual movement, but it looks about the same distance from each one of these pillars. Maybe it's a little out more in the middle, but it doesn't really seem like it is because of the spacing here. And I thought I measured right, but maybe I didn't, or, but it kind of looks like the whole thing is over. But when you're right up against it, doesn't, but the hole is going to be funny. So, what else? Yeah, so the hole is funny. I put extra pieces of rebar. Ended up buying, I think 6 total. I think I bought 4 yesterday and 2 today. And so it's as good as it's going to get, but I forgot I had it close here, but it leaves me to have a little more concrete behind it then. I'm not as worried over here, although there's plenty of concrete there. It actually looks pretty close to the end. It's really this line of the bricks that throws it off, because they started tapering it this way instead of tapering it square. So it's straighter than I think, but in the end, it still threw me off, and I ended up making the line, the hole here wider over here than over there. What are you going to do? But it's so far off that it's actually good to make the gradual, to make the concrete, mix with it. Over here, and it's pretty level, the whole thing, I really didn't pitch it too much. It's very hard. It's not my forte. Once that first one is in, it's very difficult to make it, do what I needed to do, because they're very rigid, or they aren't rigid once you try to mess with it. When I poured water, this center one leaks, but it's hard to say why that does it. It's it is what it is. And then over here, the asphalt, and this is higher. This is definitely higher. But then again, the siding is down further. That siding is up. Who knows if these things are in. I'm using frame of references, and it's really not much other than the concrete is pretty much what I got to go by. And I was running a level, and I was, putting the same amount of space underneath. But you can see here that the asphalt is just, when they got to the corner, they just really ramped it up. They really didn't, have as much room, so they built it up more, room underneath. So it really was an all-day job just to try to get this thing set, because the way they interlock, because you got to start from there, because that one's impermanently, but they really want to, they go straight in every time you put, like, if you put one in from this side, then this one fits into that one, this one fits, so I had to, go backwards and then go underneath to get it to work. It was a real pain. So hopefully I wasn't covering my mic the whole time. All right. So I've been at it for over 4 hours. I used 26 bags. Of course, in the end, this was too much, maybe a bag too much. But it doesn't look that great. It keeps flaking off. I tried with the brush. The brush makes it look better, but it's not right. And it's like the center is down more than the rest. I have a feeling that somebody stepped on it, like a dog stepped on it. Although, like, I would know that it's off because where the two drills meet, it would be a little funny. It's funny on that one, but it really looks like it's down in the middle. I mean, the middle is where all the water's coming in, so it is what it is. I can't change it now. But this is hard work by yourself, and it's just, this really, I made it too soupy probably, because all the rocks were on top and I kept swiping. All right, so what I originally had done is made the hole this small and I couldn't fit through. So I go, oh, that's right. They're like 54 inches. I don't even know. This is like only 49 inches, but I wasn't going to go further than that. But I cut it there, put this thing there. I bent this guy, I got halfway up there just to put an extra metal piece, put a bunch of screws in there. This is the only thing that I thought, I'm pretty sure it's not questionable, but in order to make this thing, because this is like a loft ladder, it's like $100 less than the one that has the folding thing down. So, and this thing was $600. So I had a build coming out of here. So this was all very sturdy here. So I continued off there, and this thing here, it moved a little bit before, but after connecting it there, it's a lot more sturdy, But now I added this one in here, which was the piece that I had over there in between. It's a little beat up, but oh well. I just didn't think it even needed it with this and that there, but it adds extra support to that. I'm pretty sure that's okay, but mainly it's thinner there because I had to build some kind of support for it, And this thing is supposed to hold 880 pounds. So it definitely is going to help me with what I have to do, but I couldn't see supporting it any other way. I suppose I could have put anchors, sideways, holding on to that thing, and, it interferes with what I'm doing, basically. So I hope this is good enough. I think it will be. So 2 free aluminum rims. One has a slight bend, so they're not really good. You got to fix them or just whatever, scrap them. And then all this heavy metal over here, fence poles and electrical conduit and stuff.
World Trade Center.
That's the same thing.
What is that? It's over there.
Okay, getting ready to put the cars in soon. I took off the shelving that was here. I made it shorter and I put it here. And that's just big enough. It should miss the car. It's not too deep, but it gives me something extra on top of here. Plus I can get those pieces out that are tucked behind there. And I think that's pretty good. Over here, as you can see, I was talking about putting stuff in the middle. And that, I think, made a big difference because now I have this thing, the whole thing open. I'm like, I can put a shelf over here, and I made it even longer, but not as deep. It's only like 9 inch. You buy a 1x10 at Home Depot. I thought it was 9 3/4, but it's actually 9 1/4. But that's fine. And then I extended this over here. I added this much more, supported it there, and everything's pretty good. I just got to clean up the sawdust and whatnot. Like I said, this thing rolls, so if it rolls, I get my electric winch up there can be moved into position. Let's see. I don't know how many videos I made, but I made a video and it never got caught, never saved on my phone. So I got this guy I put back up here, flanges, 1/4 inch bolts, and they're hanging there. Put the chain hoist over there, and then I got this guy in there. Okay, I'll get back to that in a second. But ultimately, put the light switch over here. I got this attic there, holds like 880 feet. really need two hands, but I can't really put it down anyway. And I almost did Bugs Bunny there, hitting that thing and hitting me in the balls. But I decided to make the hole here because I can put plenty of stuff up there without interfering with where the cars are. Because, you know, leaving that hole open for the ladder means it gets in the way of the car. So I figured I was going to save this open hole for big things where you have to back up a truck or something like that to get in there. And then I got this guy, okay? Now, that big piece of, I had a big shelving thing I used to use in the other garage to lift up into a space similar to this. And I took it apart, saved the wood. I put the 3 pieces of wood under here, the smaller ones. So this is just going to stay there because this was an open hole. I never closed it up. I had wiring going over it as well. But I don't think I'm lifting anything up from there. It's primarily going to be from here. I thought I was going to put the attic stair there originally. But, you know, yeah, I lost some space because, you know, the attic stair hole's right in the middle there now, you know. But it's still plenty big for what I have to do. And being that it's a centered hole, I can kind of get to everything instead of it being buried when you have it on one side like my other garage was. So once I organize all this, and I have to still organize a lot, but I had to get the stuff in here. But ultimately this guy here, you can see I got the flanges here, and I have a 1.5 inch plumbing pipe, and ultimately this thing here rolls on these 2 beams. So I can move this, and I really wanted to flip this over because this guy here, this space here is like 31 inches, which is enough to hold an engine. Of course, this hangs down more. You start to lose a lot of room if you make these go up. I didn't want to take these off. I didn't want to compromise anything with strength in the garage, but I have these guys, this extra piece of wood here, which this could be flipped up and moved on these pieces of wood, and it will only fit between that beam and that beam, but there's a lot of different things you can do with this now, you know. So ultimately, I have this guy can roll all the way one way here and get in the, what do you call it? It can get in this hole here, you know, all the way up to here, pretty much. All the way, you know, if I move these pieces of wood, it can go all the way here and get right in the center of this whole big open hole, all the way to the edge here, which would be easier as far as getting things up here. So I think it's handy dandy, and I go up there to do it from here. And I don't, you know, I don't get in the way of this so much, you know. And these are the controls. And so I bought that pretty cheap. I think I bought this for $50 or 75. I can't remember. But this thing here ended up, it was cracked probably and it already broke. So it doesn't shut off automatically, but I know where to go with it, you know. I basically took it out of this one so I can pull the car in, which is what I'm probably going to do today. And, yeah, this is looking pretty darn good, all things considered. And what else? What else we got cooking here? More shelving and shelving. And I'm utilizing all these open holes here. And, oh yeah, move the main toolboxes down. This one I've got the fill, so it's easier to move around. It was brand new, but it got all scratched up moving here. I didn't really secure anything. I just like haphazardly moved here. But I have a lot of room still in all. A bunch of these totes are empty up here. And I got all that space, and everything has to do, you know, related to this whole area here. You know, drill press, metalworking, bench lathe, if I ever get that running. I got the workbench. I got the brake lathe, which I really want to get fixed one day. This is like going to be an AC unit because I have a bunch of AC parts and fittings and whatnot, and tire machine stuff, and the wheel balancers over there. The tire machine is hiding behind all this junk. So I ran an air hose. You can see it's curled up over there. I ran it up there and to the other side. I got the AC compressor running, and I had to change some because everything broke off it, all the fittings. I removed the fitting off of it. I'm not sure about this regulator. It would suck to have to move it again because you have to take off everything to do it. I mean, I gather if I slid this down, I'm pretty sure I had to screw it on first and turn the whole thing on. So I probably have room to do that if I just move it down a little bit. And I got this guy here, which, like I said, it's regulated right now. There's something wrong with that regulator, I think. But this is regulated air, and the air going to over there is regulated, but I'm probably going to leave it full. This is full here. I had it coming straight out, but now I angled it up. That way it goes completely out of the way because it was always in my way because I had it set up the same way at the other garage. Except there was this bench was over here, transmission rebuilding bench. Got a lot of room up here. I really didn't do anything with it. So a lot of this stuff, once I get the cars in, because the landlord wants them in, I'll be able to start working on the garage here. I did a lot. She said I can have space on the side of the garage, which is in here, which I cleaned all out and pulled and what else? Yeah, all the small shelving is probably going to be for these cooler bottles, which are, and at least one or two gas containers. That way I have access to them without it taking much room up. Car can fit in. The hood is going to be able to go up, no problem. There should be at least 7 feet between here and there, and the same thing on the other side, roughly. Yeah, so we're getting there. And I had extra storage up there that I just made today, which I was thinking like the fan goes up there, and or a heater if I put a heater. So I might just put a plug up there eventually, so that'll control everything, and I can put everything, there. That'll be my heat and fan kind of area. And I have another fan that I'm going to leave in that little area over there because it probably can get stuffy in that corner. But it's going to be pretty killer. This thing here can adjust. I think I'm going to adjust it one notch in. I wish I took a video of this while I was doing it and didn't really save, but I had to cut the beams and put the wood, and I kind of did it different over here because originally I made it only as big as the hole, as big as the one thing, because they're pretty wide, which is not terribly safe. But I didn't want to put in so many because it was also a weird number. They would have been like, I think this is like 18 inches here, so it's like. Actually, it's 24 inches, so it would have been every foot. And I was like, that's stupid, so I had to, pick and choose my battles with that, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. I put all these cross braces everywhere with the hurricane hinges. That's what I call them. Hurricane hangers, that's what I call them, but it's going to be pretty killer, so I just hope I have enough room to really work on all the cars, when I need to. And I think by moving the stuff in the middle, it shares what is sticking out, because the other garage was 2 feet shorter, so it had 2 feet wider, so I had room to put the equipment on both sides. I don't have that. I only have it for one side. And so if I have only one side, I'll make it the middle. So hopefully I have enough room to get around the car. It looks like I got plenty of room, so should be pretty on good. Very, very stoked to get this all in. I got a lot of cars to fix. Not so much in the garage right now, so I'm still not going to have any videos. I really have to organize this because I would really like a well-working machine to be in here. But I'm going to pressure wash it a little bit, wash that car, and clean up now and get these two cars in. And yeah, it's a big step. A lot of organization still to do from this point on, but I have to get the cars in. That's the main thing. So thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on the next one. And here we go. The 40 Buick is in. Clears my shelf I put back there. It has a few inches of room. I can technically squeeze back there. And I can fit on either side. And the same thing goes with this car. Put my Go Jacks there. And I did pressure wash the floor. And I gotta clean up out here because it's all sandy and dirty. And I gotta fill a hole the chickens put over there using this dirt, and wash down. I gotta wash down this driveway. I'm gonna start sweeping, but that's a huge feat. I can't believe this took a month just to finish this off, because I've had the cars here for about that long. And then all I have to do, of course, is literally organize everything. Everything in the work area there, where the toolboxes are, this shit here. Engine hoist is probably going to go here. maybe I can put it outside. I don't know, but I think this was the best solution, because if you think about it, if I had both of these back over here, it might have been 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other, and like having a bigger space in the middle, I was thinking might be better, but then it was a tight fit to get in then, whereas I'm saving that much room. You know, I'm losing that much room on that side, you know, whatever the distance is between the middle of that to the end, it overhangs 6 inches, but it's not overhanging by, 18, 20 inches. Okay, because I couldn't put the feet on this. This is a step higher, this thing, and this is actually lower, so you can't really get to the back edge of it anyway. So that's, like 20 something inches in. So the toolbox, would have been, this is the toolbox is like 21, so it's around here or so. And then you got to give yourself space, and I just think this was easier. And I can still use the go jacks or something, manipulate where the car is in relation to the space that it's in. And that guy pulled in the car with no problem. I'm lucky when the guy towed it, he put it perfectly in front. And if it guided any, there's no, it's no steering wheel on it, but I gather pulling it from the back self-guided it. But I can get around here. There's a little bit of room, nothing too little, But I can also cheat it forward if I want to work in the back, and I can cheat it back if I want to work more in the front. So I'm pretty happy. So this is like step one. I can't believe this is taking me. I mean, I rented this place a week before June 1st, and that's when I started moving. And it's taken me that long, since like May 25th, to move this much, and to organize this much, and to build all this shit, to build the second floor, attic stairs. I don't know if I think I showed it in the last video, but I still got a lot to do, but hopefully up and running soon, and hopefully this is be the coming year where I actually start accomplishing a lot of stuff. Because, in a certain sense, the other garage was kind of like, I kept adding to it, and I really didn't have a spot for this or that. I did throw out a lot of stuff in comparison, but I bought a lot of stuff, and then I, still got to organize, whereas the other one, I kept just piling it on shit, So at least I have places for everything. It's incredible how 2 extra feet going 30 feet makes a huge difference in the way things are. I mean, I'll put storage all above there, all those things. It's amazing how much crap I have, and how it seemingly wasn't, space wasn't, it was a little bit cramped, but it wasn't really an issue. I got so much extra storage here, but that, it doesn't really make up for the fact of having a bigger garage. But hopefully things will start turning around and things will get done and whatnot. So wish me luck.